Warframe constantly evolves in all kinds of ways, and one of the ways is adaptation through advancement of technology. This happens on many areas, most notably on the Foundry, Companions, Comfort, and the Helminth. Hello everyone, my name is Quad, and in this video we will take a look at all the segments you can upgrade your orbiter with. We will take a look at where to get them, and we will also take a short glance at what they unlock and do. We will start with the basic segments and then go on with more specialized ones. So without further ado, let's start. Basic segments are the first things you will ever get in Warframe. They feature the Arsenal Segment, Communication Segment, Mod Segment, and the Foundry Segment. You will get all of these during the War's Prize quest, which is the first quest you will ever do, so you don't really have to grind for them. First, there is the Arsenal Segment. This one will allow you to equip mods on all weapons, Warframes, Companions, Archwings, Necromechs, and so on. The whole system of modding is something you will become very familiar with more mods you unlock. If you have just started playing Warframe, do not worry, Warframe has many leaps of mod advancement. You will first start with normal mods, then switch to primed mods, maybe. Later on you will get the amalgam mods, and you will even be able to get the galvanized mods and arcanes. Most of the items you will try to upgrade with mods have the capacity of 30. You can also double this with Arcane Reactors and Arcane Catalysts depending on the thing you're trying to mod. Warframes take Arcane Reactors for example, and Arcane Catalysts go on weapons. If you still have problems with capacity, so you can't fit all of your mods, you can also add a Forma. This will introduce a polarity to one of the slots and have its capacity if that polarity mod is in the slot. There are actually 4 Forma types in the game right now: the Stance Forma, Normal Forma, Aura Forma or the Omniforma, and the Umbra Forma. All of them will revert everything you try to mod with Forma to rank 0, so you will have to level them up again. Some weapons will actually go to rank 40 if you get the Forma on them, 5 in total, each one raising the rank by 2. The weapons in question are Paracesis, the Kuva weapons, Tenet weapons, and the Coda weapons. Other weapons do not work like this. All the weapon types I mentioned, the Kuva, Tenet, and the Coda, will have a status effect on them, depending on your progenitor Warframe, once you get them with the liches that you kill. At first, the status type on these weapons, the Kuva, Tenet, and the Coda ones, will be fixed, but later on, you are able to get the Elemental Vice, which will allow you to exchange elemental types at will. You can also exchange the polarity slot location on the modding menu, if you want to, since this will make everything a little bit more organized. I recommend you do this, especially if you're trying to combine 4 different elemental effects and require reduced capacity needs. And for the last bit of the modding menu, you can also install focus lenses so you can gain more focus while trying to farm for operator abilities. In addition to modding everything, there is also the option to change the appearance of things, which is absolutely amazing, and it is the endgame of Warframe, so I recommend you to experiment and make up your own fashion frame. Besides the modding and changing appearance, you may also exchange your gear, modify your Archwing and Necromech, and choose emotes or many other things in the upper bars of the arsenal. And that is it with the basics of the Arsenal segment. Now let's go to the Communication segment. Communication segment will be given to you after you complete yourself the first ever spy mission. This one will unlock the market, which will give you the option to buy blueprints and other items with the non-premium currency of credits or the premium one, platinum. If you do not wish to waste precious platinum right away, I recommend you enable blueprints only option in the market. To do that, you need to choose the thing you want to buy, for example secondary weapons, and then enable the blueprints only option under the search bar. This will allow you to see all the weapons you can get from the market, but there are also many more weapons you can get through the dojo slabs and by farming them up in many locations in the Warframe universe. The best thing about Warframe is that all weapons are farmable and there are no premium ones, meaning there is no pay-to-win system, but rather a pay-to-save money one. On top of that, some of the best weapons you can get in Warframe, the Kavat, Tenet, and the Coda ones, are only farmable and not buyable. But they are still tradable, so there is at least something, I guess. I truly recommend you scour around the market for a bit, since there are many things you can buy with only credits if you don't want to waste money or precious time on platinum trading. And those are the basics of the market. Now let's go to the mod segment. Mod segment is the third segment you will ever get after you rescue Darrow. This segment may look quite overwhelming at first, but in reality it is very simple when you grasp it. There are a few things it does. First, there is the mod fusion. This will allow you to upgrade mods with 2 resources, credits, and endo. Both of these resources can be found by just playing the game, in many ways actually, and there's a couple good ones, but I will not go over them in this video. When you have the mod you want, for example Pressure Point, which is one of the first mods you will get, you need to click it and select Fusion. This will display the mod in front of you. Now the only thing you need to do is choose the level you want to upgrade this mod to. Each level will raise the capacity requirement of this mod by 1, but it will also raise its potency. At the bottom you will see the amount of resources you need to upgrade the mod to the level you want. If you just started, I recommend you ration these resources a bit, since you will always find a mod or a blueprint you want but don't have enough credits or endo to get them. Every mod can be shared on all equipment of its class, meaning you will always need only one of each. Because of this, you don't have to waste resources on the same mod multiple times. Once you unlock it, you're done. The second option in the mod segment is Transmute. This option is quite simple. You need to select 4 mods at random. Once you select them, you'll be able to spend credits to combine these mods into one random mod from the game. Sometimes you will get the mod you already have, but sometimes you will unlock a new mod that will totally change your playstyle. I do have to mention that the rarity of the mods you want to transmute does matter, so if you want a rare golden mod, you'll have to sacrifice 4 golden mods in return and a lot more credits. This is something you shouldn't be doing right as you start the game, but rather once you get to the point when you have lots of excess credits. But you can still gamble, I guess, nothing's wrong with that if you know when to stop. There are 2 more options here you can use. The first one is Sell, which will allow you to, well, sell the mods for credits. But the other one is far more useful in my opinion, which is Dissolve. Dissolve will allow you to extract endo from the mods, which is a far more rare commodity than credits, so I recommend you choose this option instead. Later on in the game you will also find Ayaton sculptures, which are little statues placed somewhere in every mission. Well, not every mission. The chance of them spawning is about 10%, which is not a lot, but it is something to take a note of. If you find an Ayaton sculpture, it will appear here. You can select the sculpture you found and add Ayaton stars to it, which you have definitely found a few of when playing the game. This will increase the amount of endo you can get from them. When you add all the Ayaton stars into the sculptures, you can then visit Maru at Maru's Bazaar and exchange them for endo, which is quite nice. You will need to unlock Mars first though, so it is not right at the beginning of the game, but quite close to it. And that is it with the mod segment. Now let's go to the Foundry Segment. Foundry Segment is the last segment you obtain, which will allow you to craft weapons, gear, and many more things. Even future segments. The blueprints you find will display all the information needed, the resources you need and where to find them, crafting cost and crafting time. I will not go into more details with these since it is pretty much the only thing Foundry does, it crafts things. And that is it with the basic segments you can get in Warframe right away. Now let's go over the specialized ones that you will need to go and farm for. The Landing Craft Foundry segment will allow you to build your new landing crafts and their support charges. You'll be able to unlock it in the dojo Steno Lab, but first you will need to research it. The different landing crafts come with different abilities and looks, but once you unlock a landing craft, you'll be able to use its ability on any of them. All landing crafts are obtainable without paying a dime, but the rarity of some is quite, insane. To continue, we have the Incubator Segments. Incubator Segment can be obtained by completing the Howl of the Kubro quest. It will allow you to grow a Kubro from one of its eggs you can find in the jungles of Earth. Once you have the egg and the incubator power core, which you need to craft, you'll be able to get your first Kubro. Once you have your Kubro, you'll be able to extract up to 3 imprints from him. This is a system that can be quite time consuming, so I will dedicate a video to it on its own. But anyways, the incubator is not only used for Kubros, you can also get Kavats, but first you will need the Kavat Incubator Upgrade Segment. Kavat Incubator Upgrade Segment can be obtained as a blueprint from the Haika Masters in any Grineer mission you do. The Haika Masters are always accompanied by Haika hairless Grineer cats, and the Masters themselves always make weird noises, so you will definitely see them or, well, hear them. The drop chance of the segment's blueprint is not the highest, but it's not terribly low as well. If you are insanely unlucky, you may also get it from the dojo Steno Lab, but you will have to research it first. Once you get it, you will be able to craft it, which will give you a minor heart attack. It needs ludicrous amounts of alloy plates, which is something you probably won't have a lot of, but hey, if you want a space kitty, you will get one. Once you get the segment, you will be able to install it and choose the Kavat breeding section. This one works the same way as Kubros, but you will need Kavat genetic code instead, which is a bit more of a hassle to get, but it is still not that hard. And that is it with the Kavat segment. But there is one more. Nutrio Incubator Upgrade Segment will unlock a couple great things in your incubator. You can get the blueprint for it from the Tenno Lab after you research it. First off, it will have all incubation timers from 48 hours to 24 hours, which is quite a lot. In addition, it will also give you the option to regress genetic aging. This option is nothing special, but it will allow you to basically make your ferocious companion back into a cub. This also works on all companions you get later on, for example Predacites and Wulpophylas, and let me tell you, they are some of the cutest things you will ever see. Anyways though, let's continue to the other segments. We will now go to the Orbiter upgrade segments. Void Relic segment will be given to you upon completion of the Earth to Mars junction. This segment will allow you to refine relics with void traces, so you have a better chance to get the rare rewards from them. You have many options, but I recommend you always go with the last one if you don't want to get a common reward. Of course, all of these are still chance based, so you can get the common reward, but you will get a higher chance to get the rare one, or at least the uncommon reward. Sometimes this system will really screw to you once a new Prime Warframe comes, but hey, there is something to farm, I guess. Let's now continue to the Personal Quarters segment. Personal Quarters segment will be given to you as a blueprint after you complete the War Within quest. Crafting it will give your Orbiter a little expansion by opening one of the side doors. This extension has many things you can change up. You can add fish to your aquarium and paint the walls with different stencils. You can listen to some banger music you unlock by playing the game. And it also serves as a start for one of the main quests you need to do, so be sure to build it. Now let's continue to the second last group of segments, the Helminth Segment. Helminth Segment can be bought from Sun at Necrolisk for 15,000 standing at rank 3 with the Entrati. You'll also need to be at least Mastery rank 8 to get it. Once you have the blueprint, you will need to craft it and get into the Helminth room. Installing the Helminth segment will allow you to enter the room at all times, and will also allow you to change up one of the abilities of any Warframe. For the abilities, you will need to sacrifice the non-prime Warframes you have to unlock the abilities. After that, you may get them on any Warframe you want. You will also need to level up the Helminth and feed resources to it, so this is pretty late game system. I did make a video explaining the Helminth system already, so I won't go into more details here. So let's continue to the next segment. Helminth Invigoration segment is the second Helminth segment blueprint you can get from the Sun at rank 4 with the Entrati and 300,000 standing. 30,000 standing. And you do have to be Mastery rank 8 as well. This segment will allow you to invigorate your Warframe and give it a buff for a week. The invigorations require lots of resources, but they are also very potent. The Warframes you can invigorate are on a rotation, but every invigoration will also fill up the override of one of the Warframes. Once you invigorate 10 Warframes, you'll be able to override one of them, which will allow you to choose a specific Warframe you can invigorate by exchanging the Warframe but keeping the buffs of one of the trio. This can be extremely overpowered at times, but there are other things Helminth has as well. Helminth Archon Shards segment blueprint will be given to you after you complete the Veilbreaker quest. This one will allow you to imbue up to 5 Archon Shards into your Warframes. They have 3 varieties: Crimson, Amber and Azure. These shards give you increased buffs to your Warframes and can be removed at a cost of the Bile resource. You will get these shards in many ways throughout your Warframe playthrough, from Archon Hunts, Birth 3, Archimedes, and the 1999 calendar to be specific. You may also get the Tau Forge shards, which are 1.5 times more potent than the normal ones. They come with some very nice buffs such as health regeneration, increased strength and duration, increased casting speed, and so on. But the Helminth advancement does not stop there. Helminth Coalescent segment blueprint can be purchased from Bird 3 at Sanctum Anatomica. This segment will unlock some additional options in your Helminth. On the right you will have 2 options. First one is the Coalescent Fusion, which will allow you to fuse 2 primary Archon Shards into a new secondary one at the cost of 50 Stella. The new Archon Shards you unlock are the Emerald, Topaz and Violet Archon Shards, which come with new buffs that are a bit more Warframe specific, but still overpowered. The second option you will unlock is the Ascent Fusion, which will allow you to convert 3 Archon Shards of the same variety into 1 Tau Forge shard. This option also costs quite a lot of Stella. I sincerely recommend you wait up on this if you are low on Archon Shards, since it is better to have 3 normal ones than 1 Tau Forged one. But anyways, that is it. Let's go to the last one now. Melee Upgrade Segment is the last segment you will unlock. You will get it after you complete the Whispers in the Walls quest. This segment will unlock melee arcane enhancements and Exilus slots on melee weapons specifically. This will make all melee weapons a lot more potent in any situation, especially after you max out your arcanes. You will also be able to use the Tennokai mods, which allow you to perform heavy melee attacks at no cost of combo multiplier, and on top of that, you'll also be able to perform them a lot faster. This makes melee weapons extremely powerful since you will constantly deal max damage, but that is truly it. I hope this video gives you a little bit of an overview of every single segment you can get in Warframe. It doesn't really serve a huge purpose, but I really wanted to make it just because I think it will be a nice building block in a little project I'm working on, so yeah, it will take quite a lot of time, but in the end it's going to be worth it for me and for every single player in Warframe. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Thank you everyone for watching, please like, comment, share, or maybe unsubscribe, and also have a very nice day. Bye guys!